blitzed. We loaded it. We edited it.
Sometimes we get so deep into conversation that we have separate segments worthy of their own place in the sun.
Here is a reshuffled mini episode.
Cybernetic organism, living tissue of a metal endoskeleton.
I take it you guys have seen the Riddick movies.
Yeah, sure.
I was joking with Oreo the other day how we used to look at the back of the DVD and a giant critical blurb reads the best movie to root for the bad guy since the original Terminator, and that was very confusing for me. I'm like, did anyone actually go to the movie rooting for the bad guy?
Did anybody root for the Terminator in the first movie? They went apeshit when he said, "I'll be back." Clearly, he blew the roof off the place.
So. I always found it confusing growing up. I'm like,
there were so many great lines from just that one movie that every movie that followed it had to take from that.
It made people
reuse a lot of those lines.
They thought differently of the drive-in movie experience, kind of in a way. Yeah.
Well, then they made everybody the good guy, so it gets more confused. Yeah.
Really like Garrett Dillahunt is the guy
as the Terminator. Yeah,
he opened. I hadn't seen Deadwood yet at the time, but yeah, I saw him, and next thing you know, I'm watching No Country for Old Men. I'm watching all these other things. I'm like, this dude, how does he do? He and Walton Goggins had that aura. They would be either a southerner, a hostile guy, an anti-hero, a cool guy with an accent. You didn't know who they were, but he's an unstoppable kind of machine, and you loved his self-awareness where he knows he's being used by Cromartie and the other Skynet associates. He's like, I'm going to reject your programming if you try to kill me. You know?
No, I would love to see Garrett Dillahunt, Bruce Campbell,
a
few other people. All in I had
Campbell even in a Terminator movie back in the day would have been great.
Jeffrey Combs. I'd love to see all those guys in
a Combs would be great. Together. Oh, the Full Moon cast, and Tim Thomerson gets to play the sheriff. Michael Madsen can play a bank robber. Perfect, it'd be great. But I still kind of dug how the TX stands out in her own right. You know, she's got a flamethrower. She touches you, and then she looks like you, as opposed to I gotta kill you to take your form.
She's literally Inspector Gadget 2.0. Yes. Literally.
I love that. Yeah, because she had a bit of camp to it, and I dug how. And I actually, coincidentally, to prep for this, Kristona Loken is very active on her YouTube, and she posted an old Good Morning America interview she did for the day, and she said specifically, she took her dancing skills, and that's how she chose her pose and walk. You know, she's like, I'm not here to model, even though I got that as my background, and I'm not gonna imitate Robert Patrick, even though I love him as an actor, and that everyone knows that role. You know, it's just she coincidentally works with him in SWAT 2, the movie. But
I can go with Dark Fate, yeah, because
the Rev 9, who's played by the same actor who's now, what's his name, Luna, who's also Gabriel, on Fubar. Yeah, Gabriel Luna. I liked how it just gets to business, like up front.
You know, yeah. But talking about character actors and everything, like Arnold gives a terrific performance in every Terminator movie that he's in, and from 2 on, I think he gives like the kind of performance that a really strong, smart actor would give, regardless of, this is a guy who became a movie star through being an athlete, basically.
He's able to cover up his accent. He's very, both he and Patrick are focused on how their eye movement is, much like Roy Beatty in Blade Runner. They're looking around, like any cyborg or android would. And so,
which is why no shade to Christina Loken, but I don't like her in that third movie as much.
No,
I think
fine.
she wasn't directed well. I think because she's playing the bad guy, and she gives these kind of glaring, if she had a mustache, she'd be twirling it throughout that whole movie.
No, it's fine. I think the movie kind of speaks for the rest of it. That is true. Like she only does like a few glares, but she's kind of playing it more like Jason versus like,
But as opposed to Robert Patrick, who did that great thing of, and then Luna, the guy, is that Gabriel Luna?
Gabriel Luna.
Yes.
Yep.
He does a great blank. He seems like a robot. He's got
instead of twitching his head. And in fact, this is a good segue. I mean, we were going to talk more about the villains, but I think you've opened the door. Like so.
Well, Gilbert was going to say something.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
Well, we're reading your body language. Fret or not. So here's the ultimate question: is the T-101 or the T-1000 or the Rev 9 the ultimate villain in this, or Cromartie? Who is the ultimate villain in this saga?
Who's the ultimate villain? Right?
Because there's some competition. It's not just. It is, but
John Connor.
Wow.
But only in the outtake when he yells at the cinematographer.
That was when he was a terrorist. Yes.
I really like. I'm sorry I made that joke. I really like Christian Bale, and I like
me too. It's
the
just
mea culpa he did.
To be fair, I'm not saying that was a good thing, but that was good that shit like that came out, because I think in a YouTube was starting up, but we needed that. We needed to show, hey, actors. There's good and bad ways to do method acting. This is not the best way to do method acting. You still got to, you hear stories about Vincent D'Onofrio and Michael Ironside and some of these other guys and, Daniel Day-Lewis. But see, they're just talking in character. Sometimes they're living like their character, but they're not being a fucking dick,
Yeah, but also that's the thing, is that everybody has a bad day at work, and
that too. Yeah.
His got recorded, and then it becomes, okay, guess what? Your bad day at work might be recorded. So
but we needed to have this conversation.
No,
ultimately,
you're right.
Because
but beyond the joke, the thing that you were saying about the villains, like there is this interesting thing that you watch all these movies, and I see very much so the actors who choose to play the Terminator like the bad guy,
right,
and the actors that choose to play the Terminator like a machine. Or the actor, like Robert Patrick, chooses to play the Terminator like an incredibly smart machine, and then he brings a little personality into it. He wags his finger at Sarah Connor, things like that. It's a really interesting line to walk. But I'm gonna say, I'll throw in first, the best villain in the series is the Terminator, the T-800 in the first movie. There would be no series without that guy being as powerful as he was.
I think an underrated villain is Franco Columbo's unnamed. Sabzevari.
The guy in the camp in the dream.
That is
flashback.
creepy.
Yeah.
You see dogs barking at him, and everyone else is like, what's going on? And then you see, he's like a freaking school shooter. He's just taking all these concealed shit out, and you're like, whoa.
The blank. He does the blank. He's expressionless, remorseless. Yeah, he does it really well. You have these actors who are not necessarily nuanced actors, and that helps playing. But I'm the only one who voted. Who else? Who's the best villain in the series?
Well, I'm gonna go with what you said, Jack. It's I would say it's the original T-800, and there's a couple things I want to add to that. Is that when you're talking about the not blinking the eyes when shooting the guns and everything. So Arnold, when he sat down with James Cameron, Arnold was supposed to be the original. Not John Connor, Kyle Reese. He was supposed to be the original Kyle Reese. Right. Like what Arnold was telling James Cameron was, when he was sitting down and saying, well, the Terminator should be, the movement should be more robotic, not showing any emotions, picking up the gun, not even looking at the gun, shooting the gun. So everything about the Terminator, then he was like, well, Arnold, why don't you be the Terminator? And he's like, well, I want to be the good guy, because that's what he wants to be, that action hero. Yep. and then he thought about it, and then all of a sudden, now he's at T-800. But the thing I like about when we're talking about the different vibes of each film, and it's just like, I consider the original Terminator to be a horror movie. I think flat out, and I just love, like,
sci-fi horror, like The Thing and movies like that. It's got that quality to it.
Alien.
Yeah. And he's just he's just badass. I mean, like you think about when he he's
Jurassic Park.
when he's in a hotel scene and he has like a fly on his forehead and a bunch of flies going around him, and the guy's like, "You have a dead cat in there?" And he's like, "Fuck you, assholes," or something like that. So it's just kind of like,
I was gonna bring up my favorite moment that
And how did he learn the phrase "fuck you, asshole"?
That's right. It's one of the guys. It's the punks at the beginning of the movie.
Dear departed Billy Paxton goes, "Fuck you, asshole."
Yeah, it was the three. It was the three guys. It was Bill Paxton, and then Brian Thompson. I don't remember who the third person was. But
it's always
I didn't recognize him.
He's a character actor.
Yeah. He might have been a stuntman or something, but yeah, Bill gets thrown against the
Why do you
wall.
think people debate whether or not he killed the punks? I'm like, I thought the whole idea was...
You know why? They debate whether or not he killed the punks so that we can say definitively whether or not Bill Paxton has been killed by an alien, a predator.
I think that's part of it too, but I'm just like, they're in his way. I once got in an argument with a friend of mine. He's like, they're technically not in his way. I'm like, they're totally in his way.
Yeah,
it's nothing personal. You're just in my way, and I need your clothes, your boots, your motorcycle.
If he killed Dick Miller, he killed the punks. Come on.
I think to your point, I think they shy it away because much like the mother being off screen, even though it does make sense, they're just distracted by the low budget. I'm like, that's not a reason. That the music is so hostile as just trust me, I've done this before. Everyone's the whole no body, no kill. I'm like. They killed him.
That man doesn't kill.
Is it Brian Thompson that gets fisted first?
Yeah, he gets punched into because he pulls his fist out. And on VHS we all thought, because there's no definition, we all thought he pulled his heart out, but then I just watched it in high definition the other day and it's like, nope, he just punches him and pulls out a bloody.
I always thought that too. It's not clear even if you watch it on modified cable, but I always got the thing. I mean, the fact that there's blood on the rest of his body, I always took it as kind of, killer punch,
You know why I think he killed the punks? His name is the Terminator.
Yeah.
He's not here to hug and cuddle. And see, that's the other thing too. I would see people do the whole, get into the debate on the throwing. I'm like, they're just doing it.
Well, in Terminator 2, when Arnold Schwarzenegger first shows up and he gets his outfit and everything, he doesn't kill anybody there. At least as far as you can tell.
They're not a threat, and even though he's programmed differently, he's just...
Well, he doesn't really stop killing until John Connor tells him.
He doesn't punch them until they come at him. He's just defending himself. Like,
you're right, though. You could say that there's a difference between choosing to kill someone and then just having no regard for their safety. Like, he throws that guy on the grill, and
T2 was the original Grand Theft Auto.
I mean,
I really need your car.
You're right. I'm really only saying he killed the punks because I want to believe that Bill Paxton is the only actor to be killed by an alien, the Terminator, and a predator. Lance Henriksen has been mortally wounded by an alien,
but killed by a predator and a Terminator.
But the alien never
and Pinhead
killed Bishop. Was that?
And Pinhead.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Crappy Hellraiser sequel. Yeah.
That's kind of a funny running thing in the series too about Summer Glau's characters. Like, I'll make sure she doesn't kill anybody. It's kind of
they do that a lot
because it's TV. Yeah. You have to pull it back a little bit.
Never go full, Terminator.
Well, but that's the way in which movie series happen, where then this one is successful and changes the entire series. So we talked about Nightmare before. How A Nightmare on Elm Street is its own thing, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is its own thing, and then A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, which was its own thing, was so successful. And
even Wes Craven will tell you, hey, it's different. It's okay.
Every movie after the third movie is like a remake of 3 until you get to New Nightmare.
So I don't do the even and odd number that Trekkies like to do, but I do it with the Elm Street movies.
Well, there you go. With the Terminator series, everything after T2, except for Salvation, everything after T2 is kind of like a remake of Terminator 2.
Unfortunately, even
it's always involving time travel, yeah.
And what's funny is the producers of that did that with Universal Soldier.
Oh, but those John Hyams movies are really good. So
they're fun, and Dolph would have been a perfect T-800 too.
We'll return after these messages.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Welcome to the Better Call Daddy Show, the #1 podcast where we admit, no matter what happens, Daddy has the advice we need to fix our problems. Introducing my dad, Mr. Wayne Friedman.
That was good. It would be nice if you could also sing a song.
What would the song be?
You love Paris in the springtime. I just made up some words to it.
I love Rena in the springtime. I love Rena in the fall.
That's right. That's good enough.
What I do is interview people of interest, share it with my dad, and get my dad's advice. My dad is my hero. Nobody's got my daddy.
Oh boy, let's go to Grandpa.
You like to be a little rebel. I tried to rein you in. I have a daughter named Rena that acts just like I did. She's got a son that is not only just like me, but it's just like her.
I'm your host, Rena Friedman Watts. Invite your friends, subscribe, and I'm excited to take this journey with you. Let's dive in.
She was teasing this guy with this sword, and she accidentally cut his dick.
Oh my God, I'm dying.
And then he started to enjoy it. I started going down the phone sex rabbit hole. You've got the wankers, and they jerk off in 5 seconds, and then they're done because A, they don't want to spend money, and B, they're quick.
My stepfather had mania. If I'm yelling at one of my kids, that fear, that rigid fear.
Mom even said to me, I hope you have a kid just like you.
There are lots of people that are being bought and sold right now for profit.
If you think you're going to kill yourself, shut up and kill yourself. If you're not going to kill yourself, then shut up, smarten up, and it's all on you. The bullshit has to end.
Wow.
When I was 11 years old, I was raped and molested over the course of a year.
What Jeffrey Epstein had was a sickness inside of him.
I am Evan Castrilli Carmichael. I could do anything that I believe that I can.
I'm so excited too. Let's go.
Next on Better Call Daddy with my mom and my grandpa.
Stay tuned.
The Jacked Up Review Show podcast is honored to be part of the Blind Knowledge Podcast Network. Join anytime, talk the talk, and enjoy yourselves. There's something enlightening for everyone with this crowd of cool cats. Check them out.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up